Okay, so you may not be done, but we're gonna start talking about these, and then we can even look at the last few together if we need to. So some of these problems might look familiar to you because I pulled these right off the mastery quiz yesterday. So if any of them you're thinking, gosh, that looks familiar, it may be because it was on your mastery quiz. There were 2 different versions of the mastery quiz yesterday, so you may not be familiar with all of them, but some of them. So we're going to do these together, and then I'm going to pass back the mastery quizzes. Then you can compare what you had for answers to what we have for answers here, and then see where you might have made any mistakes, if you made any at all. Which a lot of us are still making mistakes on this. So we've got to ask questions if you're not understanding, because if you sit there and I say, do you understand? And you say, yeah, I assume you understand. But if we're not understanding, let me know, even if it's before class or after class or when we're doing work time or something, right? Okay, we've got to get this. If you guys don't do this, it's going to be hard to even get through the rest of the year. Okay? If you guys have earbuds in, or girls, can you please take them out? Thank you. Okay, so for number 1, when I do these, the first thing you want to look for is there any distribution? And there's not in number 1, right? But then the next thing would be, are there like terms? Are there like terms? Yes. Like terms are ones that are, numbers are like terms, or variables are like terms, right? So on your paper, underline the ones with the n's in them. Underline those. Those are like terms. What's in front of this n? What's understood? A 1. So we have a positive 1 and a negative 9. Do that on your calculator. Do positive 1, negative 9, or minus 9. What does that equal? What? Negative 8. And when you add 2 together, is that n or is that n squared? You're just adding them.
N squared? No.
It's just n. What you can kind of think of this as is you have all of this group of 9s with like n's with negatives on them. You have 9 n's with negatives on them, 1 n with a positive. They cancel, and what's left? Just 8 n's all with negative signs. Okay? So they don't change. When you're combining like terms, they stay the same. And then the negative 9 and the positive 2 are like terms. They're just numbers. Put squigglies under them. So I need to do negative 9 plus 2, which is what? Negative 7. And then you're done. Okay? You should have a term with an n and a term with a number in this one. Any questions on that? Okay. Then on number 2, I'm going to start calling on you guys. F4, Isaac. What are my like terms here? What is one set of them? 3n and n. I squigglied them. What do you get when you combine 3n and 1n? 4n. Perfect. And then my other 2 like terms, Deshaun, are what? Positive 5 and negative 9. What do you get when you combine those? Positive or negative? Any questions on that? Okay. Then on number 3, there's this one here. G3, zoom this up here. F5, I don't have an F5 in here. C4, Lacey. What do you do first on number 3? Okay. Now, some of you may have thought that we would combine these first. But this is order of operations, okay? We have to do any multiplying before we can do any addition or subtraction. So whenever you have parentheses with distribution, do that first. Something like this tends to throw us off a lot, okay? Distribute first. So Lacey, can you help me out and finish this up? It's going to be 8 what? 36. Yeah, got it. I got it, right? Okay. And then C3. Omar, do I have like terms here? Which numbers? Okay, so it's a positive 8 and a negative 6, or just 8 minus 6. So what is 8 minus 6, Omar? 2? So this should be 2 plus 36m. Can you guys see that okay? With the colors from the other side kind of coming through. Okay, any questions on that one? Can I combine the 2 and the 36? No, why not? They're not like terms, okay? Okay, so number 4, what do you think? Should I just add these together first? No? What do I have to do first? Distribute. Okay. So I'm just going to bring down the negative 4r. And let's see, who can help me distribute this? F1, no. H4, Spencer. So, where was I? Here. When I distribute that 2r in, what do I get? Plus 2r, and then 2 what? But this is, what's r times r? R squared. Okay. So when you do r times r, that's where you get an r squared. Okay. Now, are there like terms here? So Trinity, are there like terms here? Which ones? Okay, the negative 4r and positive 2r. So what do you get when you combine those? Careful, do it on your calculator. Negative 4 plus 2. What? We're not going to change it. When we're just combining them, it stays in r. So it's negative 2r, okay, plus 2r squared. Okay, any questions there? Okay. How many have finished number 5? How many still need to work on problem 5? Okay, we'll work together. Is that okay? Okay. D2, so Ryan, what am I going to do first on number 5? Yeah, your D2, Ryan.
distribute the 80.
Okay, distribute, and then what am I going to get?
Negative 62 is 32.
And then I just bring down the 5n, right? Okay. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, I'll send it. Brian Garcia, can you go to the counseling office, please? Right there. Yeah. So here, we need to combine these two n terms, right? So what is negative 32 plus 5, everyone? Negative 27n. Are we good? Okay. Number 6. Well, I called on the wrong number because I got another D4, and that's Lacey, and Lacey already helped me. Just a minute. We'll give somebody else a chance. Cody, what do I do here?
Distribute the 4 to the x and
Okay, then what do you get?
4x and negative 32x, or negative 32x.
Just negative 32, right? Okay, and then, let's see, are there any like terms here? So, what's that here? No. Jeffrey, that was you. What are my like terms?
4x and 3x.
And what do I get when I combine those? 4x and negative 3x. Careful, do it on your calculator.
1x.
1x. So you guys know how to do this. I think you're just being careless when you're doing your work sometimes. Okay, any questions there? Okay. Then flip it over to the front. We did it all on there, right? We did everything? Okay. Then, just because you guys don't have to write this down, just work with me. So, what is a negative 2n and a negative 6n? I mean, negative 2n and a negative 4n is, everybody? Negative 6n. We're doing this so that when you get your quiz back, you have the answers for these ones also. And then, negative 5a and negative 2a is going to be negative 7a. We're going to distribute here. So what am I going to get? 6 times 10p is 60p. 6 times negative 9 is negative 54. Can I combine those together? No. Here, multiply in the negative 4. So what is negative 4 times 9? Negative 36. Negative 4 times negative 10 is, careful, positive, right? Positive 40b. Okay. Okay, so looking on this side, I have my term with my a. I'm going to leave it there. This is what I want to move. I want to move that 1. So how do I get it to the other side? So I'm going to do the opposite of, this is like a positive 1, right? So I'm going to do a negative 1. If you do it on one side, you have to do it on both sides. So -1, -1. Same thing on both sides, right? So let's see, now those cancel out, because that would be just a 0. So I have 2a equals a, and I have a -1 combined with a -1. What is that? -2. The green one?
Yeah.
Because, okay, so I was right here, right? And I decided that I wanted my A's over here on the left. So my 2A term gets to stay, but I want to get rid of this +1 here. So I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 1 from both sides, because this one was positive. Perfect. Thank you for asking. Okay? So are we good there? Okay. Now, I just have an A term over here, so I'm good. But what about over here? What doesn't belong over here now? The A, because this is supposed to be just numbers on this side, I said, right? This is going to be my number side. So how do you get rid of that A? What's the opposite of a positive A? A negative A, or -1A, right? So if I'm going to combine a negative A here, what do I have to do on the other side? A negative A. So those cancel then, right? A positive and a negative of the same thing. And there's an understood 1 in front of that A, right? So I have 2 minus 1 is 1. And then those canceled, so I'm just left with -2. So basically, I just have A is equal to -2. Any question? You think you can try one that's similar, just different numbers? Let's try it. Just slide this up. -5 plus 3n equals n minus 5 plus 7n. Okay, go ahead and try that. So there's no distribution, there's no fractions. You're starting with combining like terms on each side. So look on the left, then look on the right for like terms. Okay, so let's finish it up together. On the left, are there any like terms? No. Are there any like terms on the right? A 1n and a 7n, right? They're both positive, right? So what do you get when you combine a 1n and a 7n? 8n. Now I've got numbers and variables on both sides, right? So my next job is just to put all my n's on one side, all my numbers on the other. What do we want on the left, the numbers or the n's? N's. I like to put my variables over on the left too. Okay. Sometimes I might choose to put them on the right, because if I want to avoid negatives, but we're going to do it, we'll do it on the left. That's what I heard. Okay, so I'm going to look on the right, on the left side here. What needs to move? What can't be there? The -5, right? So what's the opposite of -5? +5, right? So you do +5 on both sides. Those cancel, because that's what I was getting rid of, so that's good. Ooh, this is kind of strange. So usually, like up here, we were left with a number after we, over there, right? So when we do this, we're going to need a number over on the left, on the right. So if these cancel, here we have to put +0. Okay, we can't just cancel them out because we're going to need a number over there on that side, even if it is 0. Okay, so I'm good over here on the left. I got just my variable term. Over on the right, I got my number term, but that variable term needs to go, right? So how do I move it to the other side? It's a +8, so we're going to put in a -8 on both sides. Okay, so what is +3 and a -8? -5? Those cancel. Okay. So we didn't have to do this last time, but our last step now, we've got variables on one side, numbers on the other. But my last step says what? Divide or multiply to get the variable alone. What am I going to divide by? -5. So what is 0 divided by -5? 0. So your answer is n equals 0. Okay, any questions there? Okay. Then I have a worksheet for you that I only want you to do numbers 3 through 13 odd. If you write small, you can do the work right on the worksheet that I'm going to give you. If you write a little larger, it's fine to flip it over and do it on the back, or even do the work on another, like on a lined piece of paper. I just didn't give much room to show work, kind of thinking that you should probably do it on another piece, like on a lined piece of paper, to keep things from getting all jumbled up.